In previous lesson, we talked about how to create variables, and we mentioned there are three ways how to create variables using var, let, and the const keywords. In this lesson, we continue to talk about variables, and today we're gonna use let and const keyword to create variables. Let and const keywords we introduced in EcmaScript 6. And there are some important difference when we use let and const keywords instead var keyword. First of all, variables defined with let and const keywords cannot be redeclared. Also, variables defined with let keyword must be declared before use. Variables defined with const keyword cannot be reassigned, and variables created with let keyword have block scope. Okay, let's create a variable using let keyword. And you can notice here we use single quotes because the data type of variable is string. And when data type is string in JavaScript, we can use single quotes or double quotes. In both cases, we don't get error message. So for now, I'm gonna use single quotes. Okay, now let's try to redeclare this variable and assign new value. And with the document function, document write function, let's try to output value of this variable. So now if we save changes and reload page, you can see that we don't have a value we specified inside the country variable. So if we go right click and inspect element and go inside the console tab, you can see that we have error message that identifier country has already been declared. So that means variable defined or created with let keyword cannot be redeclared. Same rule is when we use const keyword. If we try to output value, you can see that we have the same error message. But if we instead let and const keyword use var keyword and save changes and reload page, you can see that we have value we specified inside country variable. So this is first difference when we use let and const keywords. As you can see, let and const variables cannot be redeclared. Also, we mentioned that variables defined with let keyword must be declared before use. So here, if we instead var specify let keyword, and if we try to output this value with document write function before variable is declared, you can see that we have an error message because we cannot use variable defined with let keyword before variable is created or declared. Also here the same rule is for const keyword. If we try to output this value, you can see that we have the same error message. But if we use var keyword, and try to output value, you can see that we don't get error message, but obviously value is undefined because we try to show value of variable, but in this moment the variable is not initialized with value. Also let and const keywords provide block scope in JavaScript. So variables with let and const keywords declared inside the block scope cannot be accessed from outside the block. So if we inside the block scope create a variable with let keyword, and if we try to access this variable outside of block scope, you can see that we have error message that country is not defined. So that means we don't see this inside the code. We don't see this this variable, and we cannot access this variable and output on the page. And the same rule is for const keyword. But if we use var keyword, and we save changes and reload page, you can see that we don't get error message, and we have value we specified inside the country variable. And the last important to mention is that variables defined with const keywords cannot be reassigned. So we use const keyword for variable unless we know that value will change. Example for that is, let's say, pi variable. So let's create a pi variable with const keyword. And now let's try to change value. And output value with document write function. So now if we save changes and reload page, you can see that we have error message. So like we mentioned, always we should declare variable with const keyword if we know that value will not change. I hope you enjoy lesson. If you have some questions, leave a comment. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.